Hi and welcome to Financial Zula, where we give you information, insight and tips on just about any financial topic in and around Namibia. I'm Justine Dominguez, and in today's video we'll be talking about setting financial goals. Yes, the new year is upon us and it's almost that time where we set our financial goals again. So let's talk about how to set financial goals. Before we get into the video, I just want to put a disclaimer out there that all the information that you're being provided with on this channel does not constitute financial advice. If you need financial advice, please speak to a certified financial advisor. So let's get into the video. So like I said, the new year is upon us and it's that time again when we start our financial planning. I mean, financial planning is not limited to only the beginning of the year. You can really start your financial planning any time of the year. It's just, at the beginning of the year, that's when people really want to plan for the year, plan forward, see what's going to happen next. And people are really in that New Year's resolution vibe, and this is like a great time to start your financial planning if you haven't already started. Why is it important? Like, why is financial planning so important? Simply because financial planning just helps you stay accountable. It keeps you accountable. Okay, what I mean by this is that it helps you avoid those situations where you are sitting at the end of the year and you're wondering, goodness, what happened to my money? Or like, what did I do with my money this year? Or yeah, for some people it happens even at the end of the month, not just at the end of the year. Financial planning helps you avoid those kinds of situations. I mean, another reason why you want to plan for your finances is because it puts you in a better financial position. So you really sit at the end of the year and you're like, I'm better off than I was before I started planning. That's a guarantee. If you plan your finances, you will be in a better financial position. And the final thing is that if you plan your finances, you are less likely to do impulsive spending. You are just more hesitant to spending and you are more hesitant to being reckless with your money. So a good example is when you have a financial plan now, you're not going to walk into KFC every day and buy KFC or go to Kapana every weekend because you've planned your money, and it just helps you think more about how you're spending your money. So financial planning is really important. Let's talk about how to set financial goals, because that's essentially today's video. So how do you set your financial goals? The first thing you need to know about setting your financial goals is that you need to split your financial goals into short, medium, and long term. All right, so you need to put a time to the financial goals. You need to say, how long is this financial goal going to take me? How long do I need before I can achieve this financial goal? And that's where splitting it into whether it's going to be a short-term, medium-term, or long-term goal comes in. And the other important thing is when you split them, you need to decide how long is short-term. You can't just say, oh, this is a short-term goal, but like, how long is short-term? Is short-term 1 day, 1 week, a month, a year? So you need to be able to say how long is short-term. All right, so short-term goals, I would suggest anything between 0 to 6 months. Maybe that's too long for some people, but again, it depends on you. You define the time for your goals. Short-term goals include things like if you're planning for a party, like a birthday party, and you're like, okay, I'm going to have my birthday in 3 months and I want to have a party for my birthday. So then in that time, you set a financial goal to say, in 3 months time when I have my party, this is the amount of money that I'm going to need to host my party. Decide how much your party is going to cost you, and then set a time, put a time to it. Medium goals include maybe paying off debt. Like if you bought something on credit at a shop and you want to get rid of that credit maybe within a year. So anything shorter than a year can be medium, like between 6 to 12 months or 6 months to a year. That is medium term. And then your long-term goals are like usually far off into the future. Maybe not too far off, because the moment you make them too far off, then you are basically giving yourself too much pressure for things that you aren't even certain about yet. So maybe 2 years at most. So for long-term goals, you are looking at purchasing property. To say in 2 years time I want to buy a house, and this is how much I'll be saving for that specific property. So that's the first thing. Put a term to your goal. The second thing you need to do when you're setting your financial goals is you need to be specific. You need to be as specific as possible. So you need to define what your financial goal is. I want to have a birthday party in 2 months. That is like very specific. You need to be specific with what the goal is trying to achieve. So why do you have this goal on your list? With the birthday party example is, I want to have a good time on my birthday, celebrate myself, that kind of a thing. So that's the second thing. You need to say what it's trying to achieve. You need to be specific with when you want to achieve it. You need to be specific with how much it's going to cost you. And being specific just helps you know exactly what you're trying to achieve and why you're trying to achieve it. And it just puts that meaning to your financial goal, so that it's not just another goal of like, one day I want to buy a nice something for myself. Like, you haven't specified anything. Like, what? That's not a goal. That's like, I don't know, a dream of some sort. But yeah, it's not a goal. You need to be specific with your goals. Just, really go for it and really put as much detail to it as possible. If you want to have a goal that says, I want to buy a car, like I want to buy a Toyota Fortuner. I don't know why that was the car that came to my mind, but you want to buy a specific car at a specific day. So be specific with your goals. So the next thing that you need to do when you're setting your financial goals is that you need to put an amount to the financial goal. Putting an amount to the financial goal just puts some sort of measure to the financial goal. It says exactly how much this goal is going to cost you, exactly how much it's going to take from you, and it also helps put priorities, because some goals are like a bit more money, so it's going to take a lot more effort. So you know where to place your energy, you know where to focus your time, and you know where to focus your money, basically. An example is if you want to travel to the coast, right? You want to go do a nice trip in the coast, and it's going to cost you, say, $2,000, right? You set a date for the goal. So you say, I'm going to travel to the coast in 3 months, right? So, and it's going to cost me $2,000. So you are going to know exactly how much you're going to save before the 3 months come up. Before we get to the final tips on how to set your financial goals, please subscribe to Financial Zula. Please like the video and share the video with your friends so that they can also have an opportunity to learn how to set their financial goals. The next tip for setting your financial goals is you need to write them down. So you know the expression, a short pencil is better than a long memory? Yeah, that expression is especially true for setting financial goals or anything that has to do with finances. If you write it down, it is much more achievable. But the best way is not just to write it down and put it under a mat somewhere and you never see it again. You need to write it down in a place that you are constantly seeing. A place like, if you have a vision board, you put it on your vision board, like, here are my financial goals, even if it's just a little bit in the corner there. Somewhere where you're constantly reminded of it, somewhere you can see it all the time, so that you're reminded that I have this goal. And sometimes when it's hard to focus on the goal, or it's hard to save that money for that specific goal, you look at that goal again and you are reminded of why you have that goal and why you're saving. And having it on paper and having it somewhere where you can see it, it just makes it easier for you to achieve the goal. It gives you more of a nudge to move towards reaching that goal, and you are most likely to achieve your financial goal if you actually have it written down, instead of just having it somewhere in the back of your head, or having written it in January and then now it's September and you're like, oh yeah, I had that goal but I forgot about it, because you haven't been seeing it often. So write down your goals. The final thing to do or to look out for when you are setting your financial goals is to be realistic about your financial goals. All right, it helps you so much if your financial goals are realistic. You cannot sit and say, in 1 year I'm gonna buy a private jet. Like, I mean, it's great to dream, it's great to have a vision, it's great to just have this whole picture of one day you're gonna do great things, with your money, and you will, you're right, because you're now becoming financially literate and everything, and you're planning and you are on the right path. but your goals must be realistic. They must be achievable. They must be goals that you look at and you're like, yeah, I can do this and I will do it. And it also just helps you to stay encouraged, because if you set a financial goal that's unrealistic, you are most likely to get discouraged. And the other thing is, it doesn't just discourage you from achieving that specific goal, it discourages you from achieving further goals in future, because what you're going to do is you're going to set an unrealistic financial goal, and then you're going to come to another time when you need to set financial goals and you're like, I don't want to set financial goals anymore because I never achieved them. But it's maybe because the goals that you have set were unrealistic. Just as an additional tip, review your financial goals continuously. Like when you have them written down, that helps. But don't just look at it and say, oh yeah, I want to do it. Like, keep it at the back of your mind. And with every day that passes, you look at the financial goal and you think, am I achieving it? Am I not achieving it? And if you have to make changes to your financial goals, please do make changes. It's not like a fixed plan where you must. You are allowed to make changes to your financial goals. And maybe you had a financial goal and it's no longer necessary, you are allowed to take it off and add maybe one that's more necessary. Those are the tips on how to set your financial goal. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of the video. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and to like, and